It's the once-upon-a-time story that we all know by heart. Out of this tiny house in Gary, Indiana, from among the 9 children of a crane worker at the steel yards, came the raw talent that rocked Motown. This is the audition in which Michael Jackson charms, glides, and spins his family into stardom. But we've also heard the other side of this fairy tale. The brothers claim that their father drove them brutally, beat them. This is the man Michael said made him nauseous with fear.
I didn't know anything about him being sick, but regurgitating. But if he did regurgitate it, he regurgitated all the way to the bank.
But on stage, the little boy felt invulnerable, wielding the voice that would enchant for the next 25 years. Oh, baby, give me one more chance. Even as the singer radically changed. We sat down a week and a half ago to talk only about music. We looked at the Ed Sullivan Show, 1970. He remembers exactly what he was thinking.
That the whole world was like watching. My father used to always say, don't mess up, you know, and I felt I knew every part. And if something went wrong, I felt I could cover it.
But by adolescence, a private price was being paid. He said it was agony when people stared, clearly wishing that he was still that cute little boy. At the time, his mother worried that he was withdrawing.
Michael's quiet now. When he was younger, he wasn't that quiet. But I don't know, I think the stage might have done that to him.
Being around, you know, everyday people and stuff, I feel strange. I do.
Sure?
Yeah.
1979, 2020. He told Sylvia Chase people won't let him be just normal.
They won't talk to me like they will the next door neighbor.
But somehow Jackson used isolation to sharpen his sense of what was exotic and new. By 1983, the 25th anniversary of Motown, another Michael Jackson emerged, his own creation, from the music to the muscle and the magic. It was a triumph, but he still sees only what he missed.
I wanted to do the 5 spins, then go on the toes and freeze there and just hold it and stay there, you know, and I didn't, but they didn't know.
It's the devil's bargain, a perfectionist trying to give the audience more, a chameleon whose changes are more and more extreme, making you wonder if it's all still part of his plan or, like Faust, his prison. As even today, Jackson obsesses over every word, every move, every sound. Listen.
Hit it.
What you're hearing is not an electric drum machine. It's a hardwired, 48-track, digitally mastered human.
What I mean, so I'll take that and use that as the main foundation for the track and build all the sounds around that. What I'm saying?
So whatever the future, the music will always be inside the man who says soon he'll be back where he's most at home.
Are you really anxious to get back on stage?
I miss the fans. Yeah, that's my chance to get to really, you know, see them and feel their presence.
They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm standing with the man in the mirror.
When you do a concert and it's like 100,000 people out there, and you see a sea of people singing lyrics, all in unison and holding up candles, and you go, wow. You know, it just really makes your heart happy, and that's what really makes you feel like everything's okay.
But as we said 2 years ago, that shy man faced some grave accusations that he had molested a young boy. As the headlines raged, a lot of people wondered if what had seemed merely eccentric was in fact something sinister. And the children always around him, were they lured by a seducer? The lingering question was Michael Jackson guilty, or had he been put through 2 years of unequaled injustice and hell? For parents, a warning, it's an adult topic. This was the allegation. A 12-year-old boy said that over a period of 4 months, while repeatedly sleeping alone in the same bed with Michael Jackson, there was kissing, then fondling. The boy said he had protested, but Jackson had wept, saying it was all right, other boys had done it with him. That was the allegation. But for the prosecution, there were problems. The boy had spoken at the urging of his father, who was also seeking custody. And the father had talked to the Jackson camp about money, $20 million, according to the Jackson team. This is that father talking to someone he knew on tape.
If I go through with this, I win big time. There's no way that I lose.
But whatever the circumstances of the disclosure, authorities say they believed the boy's story. The investigation of Michael Jackson was set in motion and within days hit the airwaves.
Tonight, a police investigation into allegations that Michael Jackson sexually abused a young boy.
The pop star Michael Jackson under investigation for alleged child abuse.
It was a tabloid feeding frenzy as people who worked for Jackson shopped stories, all claiming titillating knowledge of what they called his special friends. And even when some of Jackson's young friends tried to defend him, they raised other troubling questions. This an 11-year-old boy, Brett Barnes, talking to a TV interviewer.
When you'd have sleepovers and you'd stay in the same room or the same bed, did that seem unusual to you at all?
No, because I slept on one side of the bed, he slept on the other, and that was that.
After several months of headlines, Jackson, on tour and then reportedly in treatment for addiction to painkillers, returned to the United States and submitted to a series of police photographs. Sources say to see if they matched his accuser's description of identifying marks on what authorities called his private parts. December 22nd, Jackson went public.
Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent. I have been forced to submit to a dehumanizing and humiliating examination by the Santa Barbara County Sheriff Department and the Los Angeles Police Department earlier this week. They served a search warrant on me which allowed them to view and photograph my body, including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted.
1 month later, January 25th, 1994, Michael Jackson settled the civil suit filed by his young accuser. How much? Reportedly in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 million. After the settlement, the boy refused to testify in the criminal case, so after 13 months of headlines, the prosecutors said it was over.
We must decline prosecution involving Mr. Jackson.
They had no other children who would come forward in court, and none of the employees who claimed to have seen questionable things had a story that could be confirmed by a child. To this day, a number of investigators remain convinced that glamour and money are so attractive, they can produce loyalty and silence. While Jackson's team insists that it ended because nothing happened in the first place. And with me, of course, Michael